Mr. Rashed Al Balooshi, you're the Chief Executive Officer of Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange. It's a pleasure to have you today at the Berlin Economic Forum here in Berlin. I would like to ask you a couple of questions to know your insights on a couple of salient issues. Over the past 15 years, the ICD has tried to expand exchanges, research programs, practices in the field of cultural diplomacy, and also has made cultural diplomacy an academic recognized field. Would you define cultural diplomacy in your own words and light to your country?
See, so the cultural diplomacy, I see it as, if I need to define it, as getting a group of people or group of nations or group of cultures, and here try to understand each other, try to understand if somebody would behave or act in a certain way, what does that mean? And even take it in a further concept is looking at the trends. If something is happening here, what does it mean? How would you adopt it? How would you understand it? How would you look at it? And from which angle you should look at it? This is the cultural diplomacy when it comes to the different groups of people, which I believe it is very positive, because most of our problem today, we don't understand each other well. So we see a behavior of others and we don't react properly, we don't react positively. But once we look at it, we observe it, we understand it, maybe we change our vision, we change our way of looking at it.
Okay, thank you. In your presentation, you talked about finding business and pleasure in Abu Dhabi. This leads me to my next question. So in the current economic system, we see that globalization has somehow restructured how we trade and how we invest, because there seems to be a growing importance of not only finance and not only exchanging, but also inserting diplomacy, inserting exchanging, cultural understanding. Do you think cultural diplomacy is enough, or do you think it's a substantial tool to actually improve economic growth, or do you think there needs to be other factors on the side?
It's a combination of not even the cultural diplomacy. That's very important again to understand where we're heading to and where we're going. But the other issue is to look at the, I'm talking about economically now, to look at the platform, to look at the base of the economy in that particular country. So to go directly in my answer, I will go from in to out. When you look at Abu Dhabi today, you're looking at a place that has a very positive futures and opportunities. I'm talking about financial now numbers. As I said, the government is about to spend $100 billion into the infrastructure, and they have explained what does that mean. That means most of these stakeholders will take advantage of that. Then when you go higher, look at the economy again, it's continually improving itself. The percentage of the growth is going higher and higher. And when you go in a surface, we see a country with a clear vision, a clear policy, and knows how to deal diplomatically, knows how to deal with others in a positive manner and in a positive way. So the country has an ability even to adopt new challenges. This is why when you look at Abu Dhabi, business-wise here, we see a place full of opportunities and should be taken advantage of by those who are interested in investing into the Abu Dhabi. And you have mentioned the pleasure and the leisure of Abu Dhabi. You've seen the country is free. We've seen, like, if somebody is hoping or aiming to live there, it has all the features or the elements for the luxuries as well as the business.
Okay, thank you. The Institute for Cultural Diplomacy has set up a project which is called the Corporate Cultural Diplomacy Project, and it helps to bring together culture but also finance, and link together cultural diplomacy and the private sector, and also maybe helps a way to bring companies down to their duties to have to apply by ethical standards. Do you think that has a role to play in sustainable development and also the world's economic sustainability?
And definitely, again, it's all about understanding each other. So the bottom line goes about how much do I understand you and how much you understand me. So if these ideas are getting together and if their thoughts are getting together, it would help to promote for even more opportunities. So I definitely agree with you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on behalf of the entire Institute of Cultural Diplomacy.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.